Picture this. Just another regular weekday, you're home doing your thing, maybe sorting through the mail or watching your favorite show, and suddenly the phone rings. Unknown number, but you pick it up anyway. On the other end, there's this pleasant male voice, professional, friendly. Good afternoon. This is the prize distribution department. I've got some fantastic news for you. You've just won $50,000 in the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes. Congratulations. For the first second, you think it's a joke, but the voice keeps going, calling out your full name, your address, even your neighborhood. He sounds so confident, so official, that something warm starts bubbling up inside. What if it's real? You try to remember whether you entered some sweepstakes. Maybe you forgot. And the voice is already continuing. We'll have a courier deliver your check tomorrow morning, but first we need you to cover the processing fees, $2,500. It's standard procedure. We can't release the funds without it. And right there, in that moment when excitement mixes with just a touch of doubt, that's when the most dangerous part of the story begins. You hang up the phone and sit there, trying to figure it out. Is this real or a scam? On one hand, $50,000. That's life-changing money. That's solving so many problems. You could help your kids, your grandkids, finally fix the roof, take that breath you've been holding for years. On the other hand, $2,500 isn't pocket change either, but compared to the prize, it seems like a reasonable fee. You call your daughter, tell her about it. She asks carefully, "Mom, are you sure you even entered this sweepstakes?" You're not certain, but they knew your name, your address. How would they know if it wasn't real? And that voice was so convincing, so serious. Eventually you decide, I'll take the risk. What if it's true? You send the money like they asked, wire transfer, or you buy iTunes gift cards like they told you to. And then you wait. A day goes by, 2 days, a week. No courier shows up. You try calling back. The number doesn't answer, or it's already disconnected. And only then, after several days of agonizing waiting, it hits you. You've been scammed. The $50,000 never existed, but that $2,500 is already gone forever. But the story doesn't end there. A month later, another call comes in. Another pleasant voice, equally professional. "Hello, this is the prize distribution department again. We apologize for the delay with your prize. There was a technical issue, but we've resolved everything now. We just need you to pay an additional $1,000 for prize insurance, and tomorrow we'll bring you the check." And there it is again, that same trap, that same pressure, that same hope. Maybe this time it's real. And it can go on like this for months, even years. The scammers come back again and again, squeezing everything they can out of their victim. Why does this work so reliably? Because the scheme isn't built on logic. It's built on emotions, joy, hope, greed, fear of losing something that already feels like it's yours. Let's break down exactly how scammers crack through your defenses. The first blow is joy and hope. When someone tells you you've won, your mind immediately lights up with every dream, helping your family, paying off debts, taking that vacation, finally relaxing. That feeling is so powerful that it literally shuts down critical thinking. You stop asking uncomfortable questions because you don't want to destroy this beautiful picture. The second blow is the trust anchor. Scammers call out your name, address, sometimes even your date of birth. They know you recently entered some contest at a store or online because they bought that data from leaked databases. And when the person on the other end knows more about you than you expected, it automatically makes them seem legitimate. The third blow is the reasonableness of the demand. The tax or fee amount seems logical compared to the prize. If you won $50,000, then $2,500 is only 5%. Sounds like real taxes, right? That's exactly what they're counting on. The fourth blow is pressure and urgency. They tell you, if you don't pay today, we'll give the prize to the next winner, or this offer is only valid until the end of the day, or the courier is already on his way, but without payment confirmation, he can't hand over the check. This creates artificial panic. You have to act fast, no time to consult anyone, no time to verify. And this is where most people break and do something they'll regret later. They send the money. The fifth blow, the most insidious one, is using real brand names. Scammers often pretend to be Publishers Clearinghouse, McDonald's, Amazon, major supermarket chains like Walmart or Target. They know these names inspire trust. You think, well, it's McDonald's, they wouldn't scam me. In reality, it's just a name stolen for cover. Now let's look at the specific scenarios scammers use to catch you. The most classic one is the phone call with wonderful news. The voice is friendly, sometimes even with a slight accent to sound international. They tell you that you've won a major lottery and ask you to pay taxes, fees, transfer commission, always something that sounds official. The second scenario is a letter or email with a fake logo of a well-known company. It says, "Congratulations, you're the winner of our sweepstakes. To claim your prize, click the link and fill out the form." The form asks for your banking details or card number, supposedly to transfer the prize to you. In reality, that data goes straight to the scammers. The third scenario is a text message or messenger notification. You've won a new iPhone, click the link to claim it. The link leads to a fake website where they ask you to pay symbolic shipping of $20. You pay, the phone never comes, and your card details are now in the hands of criminals. There are even more sophisticated variations.
Free cruise. They tell you that you've won a week-long Caribbean cruise, you just need to pay the port fees and visa. The amount is small, you agree, but of course there's no cruise. Or you're the second winner. Scammers tell you that the first winner declined the prize, and now it goes to you, but you have to decide quickly because there's a third person in line. This creates competition and urgency, and you rush to pay so you don't miss out. Another version is you were entered automatically. They tell you that you were put into the drawing when you bought something at CVS or registered on a website. It sounds plausible, and you start believing it. Who falls into these traps most often? First and foremost, elderly people living alone who dream of easy money to help their family or solve their problems. Scammers know this and specifically search for those phone numbers, those databases. Second, people who actually have entered sweepstakes. If you regularly fill out entry forms at stores, leave your email on contest websites, scammers can find out and use it against you. Remember, you entered our sweepstakes 3 months ago at Kroger? Well, you won. Third, people in financial difficulties. When money is tight and bills are piling up, the dream of a sudden windfall seems like salvation, and critical thinking shuts down even faster. And here's the scariest part about these schemes. Even after they scam you once, the scammers don't go away. They know you already believed, already paid, which means you might pay again. They call back with different excuses: delay, technical glitch, need additional payment, insurance, identity verification. Some victims lose tens of thousands of dollars, believing again and again that this time for sure they'll deliver the prize. This is called repeat victimization, and it's one of the cruelest parts of the whole scheme. Scammers come back to those they've already deceived because they know these people have already proven they're willing to pay.
Now that you know how the deception mechanism works, how scammers pressure emotions, what scenarios they use, and who they target as victims, it's time for the main question. How do you protect yourself? How do you make sure you never fall into this trap? How do you teach your parents, grandparents, to say no even when they really want to say yes? That's coming up next. We'll go over the simple golden rule that will save you from any lottery scam, the red flags you can spot in the first seconds of a conversation, and specific steps for what to do if you or someone close to you has already paid scammers. Stay with me through to the end, because knowing these rules can save not just your money, but your peace of mind, your faith in people, and your confidence in tomorrow. Now that you understand how scammers break down your defenses and play on emotions, it's time to learn the most important thing: how to never fall into this trap. And we'll start with one simple rule that you need to remember once and for all. Write on a sticky note, put on your refrigerator, and tell everyone you love. This rule will save you from any lottery scam, no matter how convincing it seems. Here it is. A real prize never requires upfront payment. Read that again, slowly. Never. No taxes, no fees, no transfer commissions, no insurance, no port fees, no identity verification costs. If you actually won something, the organizers will either deduct taxes from the prize amount themselves, or you'll pay them later when the money is already in your hands. But no one, never, under any circumstances, will ask you to pay upfront. If they're asking, it's a scam. Period. No exceptions. Why does this rule work without fail? Because the entire lottery scam scheme is built precisely on upfront payment. Scammers can't give you a prize because it doesn't exist. The only way to get money from you is to convince you to pay in advance under some plausible pretext. Once you internalize this rule and follow it religiously, no persuasion, no pressure, no urgency will make you hand over money. Even if the voice on the other end sounds like the CEO himself, even if they show you fake documents, even if they swear on everything holy, if they're asking you to pay up front, it's a scam. Remember this like the multiplication tables, like your address, like your grandchildren's names. This is your first and main line of defense. But let's go further and break down specific red flags that almost always expose a scammer in the first minutes of conversation or at first glance at a message. First red flag, payment method. If they ask you to pay with iTunes gift cards, Google Play cards, Steam cards, if they demand a wire transfer through Western Union or MoneyGram, if they insist on cryptocurrency or cash through a courier, it's 100% scam. Legitimate organizations never work through gift cards. Why do scammers love them? Because once you give them the card code, the money disappears instantly and irreversible. It's impossible to track, return, or dispute. It's like throwing cash into a fire. It burns forever. Same with Western Union transfers and cryptocurrency. Anonymous, fast, irreversible. Real companies will ask for a bank transfer, check, official payment, everything that can be verified and disputed. Second red flag, urgency and pressure. If they tell you only today, in an hour the offer expires, if you don't pay now, we'll give the prize to someone else. The courier is already on the road, but without payment confirmation, he can't hand over the check. It's manipulation. Scammers deliberately rob you of time to think, to verify, to call family. They know the faster you make a decision, the less chance you'll check it. Real organizations will give you time. A real prize won't disappear if you spend a day or two verifying its authenticity.
Moreover, any legitimate company will be happy if you show caution and ask questions. Only scammers get angry when you don't rush. Third red flag, they can't name exact details of your participation. Ask, when exactly did I enter this sweepstakes? What's my entry number? Where did I fill out the form? If the person on the other end starts mumbling, evading, saying general phrases like, it was automatic, or you entered online, it's a scam. A real sweepstakes department knows exactly when you entered, through which channel, what your participant ID is. They have a database, and they'll happily confirm the details. Scammers don't have such data because there was no participation. Fourth red flag, the phone number doesn't match the official one. If you got a call supposedly from Publishers Clearinghouse, go to their official website and look up the contact number. Call it back and ask if they really called you. Most likely the answer will be no. Scammers use fake numbers, caller ID spoofing technology, so something that looks legit shows up on your screen, but the company's real number can always be checked through the official website, and if the numbers don't match, it's a scam. Fifth red flag, they ask you to keep the winning secret from family, friends, your bank. They tell you, don't tell anyone until you receive the prize, or people will be jealous, or this is confidential information. If you tell someone, the prize will be canceled. This is isolation tactics. Scammers know that if you tell someone close to you, they'll likely suspect a scam and stop you, so they try to cut you off from support so you make the decision alone under pressure. Real organizations will never forbid you from sharing good news. On the contrary, they'll be happy if you tell everyone around. It's free advertising for their sweepstakes. Now for concrete steps. How to verify whether it's real or a scam if you got a call or message with wonderful news. Step 1. Don't make a decision immediately. Say, thank you for the information. I need time to think. Leave your contact info. I'll call back myself. If the person starts getting angry, pressuring, saying there's no time, that's already a diagnosis. It's a scam. Hang up. Step 2. Find the official website of the company that supposedly called you. Call the official number listed on the website and ask, I just got a call saying I won. Is this real? 99% of the time they'll tell you, no, those are scammers. We didn't make such calls. Step 3. Discuss with family. Call your kids, grandkids, a neighbor, a friend, anyone you trust. Tell them the situation. A fresh outside perspective almost always sees the scam where you, blinded by hope, don't notice it. Step 4. Ask the caller for exact data. When did I enter? What's my entry number? Where did I leave the form? Write down the answers, verify them. If there are no answers or they're vague, it's a scam. Step 5. If they ask you to pay, immediately say no and hang up. Don't explain, don't justify, don't listen to persuasion. Just, thank you, I'm not interested, and hang up. You don't owe this person anything. You're not obliged to be polite to a scammer. Your safety matters more than their feelings.
And what if you already paid and only later realized it was a scam? First and most urgent, immediately call your bank. If the transfer hasn't gone through yet, you can try to stop or dispute it. The faster you react, the better chance of getting the money back. If you bought gift cards, call the company that issued them, Apple, Google, Amazon, and report the card numbers. Sometimes, if you're quick enough, the cards haven't been activated yet and can be blocked. Second, contact the police. File a report, describe the whole scheme, provide phone numbers, names, call recordings if you have them. Yes, chances of catching the scammers are slim, but every report helps law enforcement track the scheme and warn others. Third, report to special services. In the US, that's the Federal Trade Commission at ftc.gov. You can also contact the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center and your local police department. Your story could save someone else from the same scam. Fourth, warn neighbors, friends, relatives. Tell them what happened to you. Yes, it's unpleasant, embarrassing, painful, but your experience can protect dozens of other people. Scammers often work the same area, the same database. If they scammed you, they're probably calling your neighbors too. Warn them, and you've already done a good deed. Now about family protection, because often elderly people live alone and have no one to consult when the call comes. Make an agreement in advance with children, grandchildren, someone close. Any winnings, any congratulations, any offer that requires money, we discuss with family first. Simple rule. If someone calls and says you won, don't say yes and don't transfer money until you talk to me. This isn't control, it's care. Let there be one responsible person you can call right in the moment of talking with the scammer and ask, they're telling me I won $50,000. I need to pay taxes. Do you think this is real? That person, not being under emotional pressure, will immediately see the scam and stop you. And the last most important thing, if you didn't enter, you didn't win. This is an iron rule. You can't win a lottery you didn't enter. If you didn't buy a ticket, didn't fill out a form, didn't register on a sweepstakes website, you couldn't have won. Period.
No automatic entries. No, we included you in the drawing for buying milk at Safeway. That's not how it works. Real sweepstakes require conscious participation, confirmation, consent. If you don't remember entering, then you didn't enter. And if you didn't enter, then whoever is calling you is lying. You don't have to understand all the nuances of lotteries, sweepstakes, tax laws, but you can adopt a few simple rules that will save you from any scam. A real prize doesn't require upfront payment. If they ask for gift cards or urgent wire transfer, it's a scam. If they pressure and rush you, it's a scam. If they ask you to keep it secret, it's a scam. If you can't remember entering, you didn't enter, so it's a scam. These rules are enough to ensure you never have to say, "Yeah, they got me too." Show this to your parents, grandparents, neighbors. Discuss these rules with them. Make an agreement that any winnings we check together first. Scammers call people one by one, but we can warn about them as a family, as a building, as a whole street. And then their schemes will stop working, and your money, peace of mind, and faith in people will stay with you.